And we are live today. Let me see here if everything's working. Seems to be. Okay. Gonna give it a few minutes for people to pop in. If you're there, say hi to me in the chat box. Let's talk. Tell me where you are from. I'm just gonna wait a few minutes here for people to pop in. And then we're gonna get started. So if you're watching this, please drop me a message in the chat box. Tell me where you are listening to me from. Let's get together. This is a space for us to learn, but also to interact. So let's do this. While we are here, I'd like to let you know that today we are talking about timelines, and the information that I will be sharing with you has reached me through a insight. So it was an information, a download that came through, and that I feel I should share with the world. And therefore, that's exactly what I will be doing today. So this information, just before we get started, while we wait for some more people to join us, this information came to me, as usual, when I'm in the dark. And it comes in bits and pieces sometimes. So I'll get a piece of information one day, another piece of information the next day, and so on until it completely creates the big picture that I then can deliver. So sometimes it can take me a little bit of time to come forward and deliver all of this information, put it out there so that it is in a practical way that everybody can understand it and that everyone can use it and take it to their own advantage. So this is exactly what happened with this type of information from the timelines and how timelines work. It was just an insight, a download that took a while. And so I had to wait out for more information to come through to see how everything was fitting together. And then now I feel that I have enough information that could help you and can make a difference in your lives. So that's why I decided to pop in here today and share all of this with you. I am excited. Are you guys excited? Let me know. I see Darshan. Hello, ma'am. Hi. Nice to have you here. Welcome. So I think we will get started here. Can everybody hear me and see me all right? Let me know in the chat box. And then we will get started because I don't want to postpone this too much. I just want to make sure you are hearing me and seeing everything. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I guess you can hear me. So let's dive into this, and hopefully others will join us once we start. So here it goes. Today we will talk about timelines and manifestation, and we're going to talk about the relationship between the two and how that can help you and how you can apply that in your life. Just before we start, there will be people here either watching me live or during the replay that have never worked with me, or perhaps they have never found me on social media. Maybe we never talked even. So I just wanted to start by introducing myself. My name is Soraya Rosa. I'm an energy reader and energy healer. And I also organize events. And I wasn't always really keen into working within spirituality. In fact, I started out to study biology. So I have a degree in biology, I have a master's in biology, and then I proceeded to get a PhD in biology as well. Once I finished my PhD, I realized that there were some things that were missing in that scientific career that I was pursuing. And I decided to try out a different approach and decided to try out a different path. And that is what has led me here today to be within the spirituality niche. At the beginning, I knew that I could read energy and I was good at it, but I didn't really quite understood how well I could read energy and do energy cleanses and emotional healing until later, until last year, basically, because that's when I started doing aura readings, and aura readings really opened up a whole new world for me. They help me help my clients create changes in my clients, help them gain emotional clarity, mental clarity, direction, sense of purpose even. And as I started doing them, I start realizing that I could see things in people's energy that were not very clear to them. I could see patterns, and I could see how these patterns were repeating themselves over and over again in which areas of their lives, and how they were manifesting cycles in their life. I could see how those patterns were limiting my clients, and I could help them get beyond those patterns and release them and heal them and transmute them. So this is when I start understanding that I could really access patterns and I could shift them quite easily by connecting to a higher vibration. And that is what has led me here into getting these insights about timelines, because timelines are actually not something that's really easy to read, but they can be accessed, and there are patterns in timeline as well. And so I started getting these insights about how timelines work and how they can help us. And so I want to put all of this out there. That's how we got here today. That's how we've reached this point right now. Guys, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I have a tendency to speak way too fast. But I want to make the information today here very simple and clear for you. So I don't want to move too fast, because I want you to understand everything that I'm trying to share, because I feel this information is quite important for your lives. So if you are feeling that I'm going too fast, just drop a message in the chat box and let me know that I'm going too fast. I will slow down. Okay, I believe we have a little bit of a time lag, a bit of delay in the chat box. That's okay. Let's continue. And please let me know if I'm going too fast here. I have my notes right here. That's why I keep looking to the side, because I don't want to forget anything that I want to share with you today. I made a list. So let's start by thinking about what are timelines exactly. Maybe you've heard about this, maybe you haven't, but maybe even if you have heard about this, you're not 100% sure what it is, or there's a lot of different definitions and opinions out there. So I want to share with you the insight I got. So a timeline is a chronological arrangement of events. And we have all seen timelines growing up in school, even on TV. So we have something that happens in the past, then we have the present, and then it moves forward to the future. And it's often represented by an arrow. Okay, this is a timeline. This is the timeline that we use here and now in our reality, in our physical 3D reality. It is what guides us through time, past, present, and future. It gives us a mental construct for us to live within. However, when we start speaking in terms of higher vibrations, if we go to the level of the higher self, or even higher than the higher self, We enter in a domain where time is not linear. It is not about past, present, and future. Time becomes fluid. And not only it doesn't have just one direction, but it doesn't move in a straight line. So if you want to have a mental idea of how time can be seen from a higher perspective, it is like a web, but it is not a web like our spiders make them, because spiders make very well structured webs. This is a web that's unorganized, and it can go like this, and then shifts around, goes up, goes down, spins, and it doesn't go just in one direction. You can be going like this, and then you go like that. Okay, we don't have that perception while we are here in our physical world, but we can be moving forward, and then we can be moving backwards, and then we can go high, and then we can go low. Okay, we don't have that perception. We see it as past, present, and future, but at a higher perspective, there's a lot more we're not seeing. There's this shift happening over here. So if we have this super unorganized web, then how can we be seen in relation to this web? Where do we stand? Okay. You, as a person who has a body and has awareness, you can be seen within this web as a single dot. Okay. You are a single dot. And this single dot is composed of past, present, and future. Okay, let me explain this better. You as a single dot within this web, you do not have a past or a future. You are simply a present, because this dot will move forward, backwards, up, down, and it can all seem to you here in the physical reality that you are just going forward in direction towards the future. Okay? So the only thing that really matters at a higher energetic level is the present, because it helps you locate yourself within this web. Okay? So you are a dot and you are moving through this web, and the direction that you take is not always clear to you while being here incarnated in this physical reality. All right? Is that making sense? Please let me know in the chat box. It's important that we clarify any questions that you might have until now, so that you can understand what I'm about to share with you next, because all of what I'm going to share next is based on this idea that timelines are the web and you are the dot within the web that keeps moving around. So let me know, please. Are we good? Thumbs up? Okay, so let's go on. So there's this sort of highway of pathways, which are the timelines. So the timelines are your pathways, and you are the dot, and you choose which pathway you go to. But you're not 100% sure where you're going, because here in the 3D, you can't see it clearly. However, if you connect to a higher frequency, then you can get a perspective around this web. Okay? And as you're moving, you can reach some points here within this web that I personally call crossovers. Crossovers are simply points in the web where multiple timelines converge. They all lead to that crossover. And in that crossover, what you have is an experience, an event, something that happens in your reality. But it belongs to multiple timelines. Okay, it's a single event. And which type of events may this be? These are the most simple things that happen in your daily life. They are not, they can be, but they are most often not big events or catastrophes or nothing that you could look at and point out as, that was a timeline crossover. And the reason for that is that this is just how energy works at a higher dimension. Because energy works like this at a higher dimension, we are used to it. This is natural for us. It's just how it works. We are used to it. And if we are used to it, then when it happens, we don't feel it because it's something normal. We have been there millions of times, and we will continue to be there millions of times in the same situation. So it makes it very hard for us to really understand when we are at a crossover. However, if you remain very conscious, self-aware, and mindful of your present moment, then you might be able to identify that you are in a crossover point. These crossover points may be felt as a familiar situation. Have you ever been to a place and you just felt, this feels familiar? Okay, this is the moment that you are in one of those crossovers. There's another type of feeling that you can get once you enter in these crossovers, is that you feel a shift in your energy and you feel like suddenly there's a whole world of possibilities available to you because you are standing in a place, an event in time within these timelines that is connected to multiple timelines, which can lead to multiple realities. And that creates the sensation that suddenly you see a million of opportunities. And so you feel your energy, your emotions shift. You feel like, whoa, I can shift things. I have so many different directions that I can take right now. This is one other way that you can feel when you are in these timeline crossovers. There's another sensation, probably the most common and the one that can really be easier to sense, and that is the sense of déjà vu. Okay, because in a déjà vu, it's like you recognize that you have been there before. That is a timeline crossover. Okay. So now that we've seen there's this web where the timelines connect, and you reach a place where they connect. When do they connect? They connect all the time in multiple situations. You are in this place of a crossover, and now you can identify it. Either a sense of your energy shifting, your perception shifting, a sense of déjà vu, or that situation particularly is familiar to you. And now that you're in this place, what are you going to do? Why is this important? Why is this relevant? Why are we talking about this today? If you guys have any idea, drop a message here. Let's talk about it. So basically, when you reach these points of crossover, in fact, you do have the opportunity to choose from multiple potential directions and potential outcomes. And within each one of these timelines, there are events and specific manifestations happening. So they are all different. They all lead to different life experiences. Okay. Now, the important thing is there are multiple timelines. So which one is best for you? I'm going to say is the high vibrational timeline. And what I mean by high vibrational timeline is that it's a timeline where you feel you are in a high vibration. You feel happier. You feel like your manifestations are happening for you rather than you having to actively spend so much of your energy trying to make it happen. This is a timeline where the good feelings are predominant. Okay? So this is what I consider to be the best timeline available for each and every single one of us. So we want to get into that timeline. We want to experience feeling great. We want to experience feeling happy. We want to experience feeling integrated, feeling one with everything that's happening around us. We want to create experiences for our life that are reinforcing those emotions and creating opportunities. So we want that best high vibrational timeline. Do you guys want it? Because I do. I most definitely want them. So that's the timeline we want to enter. How do we enter that timeline? We are at a crossover. How do we enter in that timeline? How do we pick that timeline? Well, the answer is quite simple. When you are at a crossover, there's an event that it's happening. And within this event, you're going to have an option. Something will happen and you will have to take an action or not. But that decision, that action that you take at this crossover, it's what's going to determine in which timeline you will enter. I'm going to repeat that again. When we are at a crossover between timelines and we experience an event, the action we take in regards to that event, it is what will determine in which timeline we will enter next. Okay, so you can be in a low vibrational timeline and you enter a crossover. In that moment where that experience happens for you, you can make an action, you can take a decision that will automatically make you enter a high vibrational timeline. Okay? Which type of situations happen in these crossovers? So just to give you an idea, for example, you could be having a coffee with a friend. You could be having an argument with someone. You could be crossing the road. Or it could be a life-changing decision that you have to make. It could be any of those, okay? So that's why it's important to remain present and mindful of the moment so that you can identify in which timeline you are, in which crossover you are. And to really ask yourself, is there another timeline? Is there another way that in which I could possibly increase my vibration? Or do I feel like I'm vibrating higher already and that is enough for me? But there's an easier way to do this, definitely. So let's just continue here. So then you enter, let's say, you've reached this crossover. You've identified that you are in a crossover. And now you understand that you could be still in a timeline that makes you feel better, makes you create better experiences for you. So how do you enter that timeline? What is the action, the type of action that you have to take during that event that will make you enter a high vibrational timeline? The type of action can be really simple, but it does have a frequency to it. The type of action that you need to take to enter a high vibrational type of action that is rooted in a sense of oneness, in the sense that we are all one, that we consider other people, but we consider ourselves and we respect ourselves, and therefore we act accordingly. It's a decision that is based on the fact that we respect our intuition and that we follow it. So these are decisions made from the heart that do not harm anyone and that have everyone's highest good foundation for the decision that you will make. Okay, this is how you enter your highest vibrational timeline. Now, what is this relationship between, high vibrational timeline and manifestation? I already mentioned it briefly, but once you enter this high vibrational timeline, what happens is that the universe starts working for you. It starts manifesting for you. You attract things into your life more easily than ever. Synchronicity starts happening with such a frequency, it can become almost daily. Okay? You feel the universe has your back. It's working for you, together with you, rather than against you. And therefore, things will manifest easier in your life. Okay? This is also one of the reasons why we want to get into that high vibrational timeline, because then life will take on the job of bringing us happier things that will bring us opportunities that will make us feel good. So let's continue here. And when you reach these crossovers, this decision that you make based on having everyone into consideration and having yourself into consideration, then you stop reacting to what's happening and you start consciously responding. If you react to something, then you're just being triggered by whatever is happening. You're not thinking it through. But when you understand that you are at a crossover between timelines and you understand that you have an opportunity to shift to your highest vibrational timeline, and you can identify what's happening there in that moment, what's triggering you, and which action could you take that would be considerative of everyone, including yourself, because that's the action that will grant you access to the highest vibrational timeline you can enter. Okay, this is how you do it. Once you enter in this timeline, this could be the end of the story, right? Happy ending. We enter in the highest vibrational timeline and everything goes perfectly fine for us. But that's not exactly how it works. So you enter this amazing timeline and then suddenly there will be events along the way. There will be other crossovers that you will go through, because this is just the way that energy works. This is just the way that timelines are designed. So sooner or later, even if you are in the highest vibrational timeline, you will reach another crossover. And when you reach this other crossover, there is always the potential for you to exit a high vibrational timeline. However, that's definitely not what we want. So what you need to do is to continue to ask yourself, which action or decision could you take that would be considering the highest good of everyone involved in that moment, in that crossover. That will help you remain in that highest vibrational timeline. Okay. However, these triggers that happen, these timeline crossovers, often they trigger you. It can be something very, very simple. It can be something like you start to get some information, some insight starts to come through, and suddenly you try to block your intuition because someone's trying to talk to you. Okay, what do? What is the decision or action that you can take that is considerative of everyone and that will grant you access into the highest vibrational timeline? Let me answer that. It would be, tell the person, I'm sorry, I'm getting an insight right now. I need a second. You focus on your intuition. You let that information come through, and then you continue communicating with the person. Okay? You're considering everyone. You're attending everyone's needs. Okay. However, if you're a little bit disconnected from the present moment, your reaction will be to just try to block your intuition and talk to the person, or completely ignore the person and connect completely to your intuition. Either of these cases, you're not completely considering everyone, okay, at the same level. So this is the type of action that you need to take. These triggers, however, are usually rooted in past events, past experiences that we had. So the fact that I am in this crossover, the person's talking to me, and I'm getting an insight. If my first reaction would be to ignore my insight and just continue to push through in the conversation that I'm having with someone, then probably something happened to me in the past that created the fear of listening to my intuition rather than continue to communicate. Do you understand what I mean? There was something that happened in my past that now is making me want to block my communication, my insight. And instead of focusing on that, it's making me want to continue to communicate with this person in front of me. Okay? Because when I block my insight, I'm blocking a part of me, a very important part of me. This is the part of me that's showing me what the best path is. It's showing me information that's important for me. Okay, so this is coming out of a fear, out of something that happened in the past. So ideally, in order for you to remain within a high vibrational timeline, in a more, how to say, easier way, would be to have a cleanse of all of these triggers, all of these fears, all these patterns that repeat in your past, so that you could naturally act according to the action that will keep you in the goal timeline. Now, cleansing all of these triggers can be tricky because you don't know what's coming, you don't know what's going to trigger you. So either you do it right there in the moment, which can be hard, or you're going to have to sit back and really try to do it and pause that moment and try and deal with your emotion and your trigger, and then decide which action would consider everyone, and then take action that will lead you to consider everyone, in turn will keep you in that goal timeline. Okay, this can be done. It's not impossible. It can be done. However, it can be very difficult, and it can take quite some time because you have to keep trying to understand when have you reached the crossover, what type of action you need to take, which trigger is keeping you from acting according to the highest vibrational timeline. And then you have the trigger. What do you do with this trigger? Because it's an emotional trigger. You have to do something with it. Okay, so you have to process it through, and then you take the action, and then you enter the goal timeline, the best, highest vibrational timeline, which is what I call the gold timeline, because gold is the highest vibration there is. So if you know me, and if you don't know me, I'm going to tell you right now that I am all about easy, fast, efficient, solution-oriented, creating, changing your physical reality. I don't believe that we are here to go the hard and difficult way. I think we're here to experience what we want to experience and enjoy it. And if there is a shortcut that works, that still promotes the healing and the cleansing and all that, I'll take it anytime. And if I have one that I can share with the world, I will. And this is how timeline readings came up in my life. Okay, I got all of this insight about timelines, and I asked myself, how could I take the information from the timelines and put it together in a reading that could really help people shift their lives? How could this be done? And I did come up with an idea, which I want to share with you today. I came up with the idea that I could access where you stand right now which timeline you're in, and where is that timeline leading you towards? Because we all want to know, are we going in the right direction that is going to create the experiences that I want to live, right? Because if you don't know, then you cannot make a decision that will support that or that will help you change direction. So it's important that you know that. But then again, there's a high vibrational timeline available for every single one of us that we can identify if we sit a little bit and think about what my highest vibrational life could be, okay? But there is one available for everyone. And what if that could be selected and could be seen within this web that it is timelines, plural. So I could identify this timeline, figure out what's going to happen in it, find out when and in which situation a crossover between these two timelines happens, the day, the event, figure out which action you have to take to create that jump from your current timeline into your best, highest vibrational timeline. Doesn't that sound exciting? I am excited just to talk about it, actually. What if I wouldn't stop there? What if I could understand further ahead after you made that jump? What if I could see the patterns, the wounds that could potentially trigger you into reacting and making you jump out of that goal timeline? That would be even better, because if I could identify those triggers and if I could remove them for you, then you would just remain in the highest vibrational timeline. So I gave it a thought and I decided to give it a try. So I put together a group of people and I asked them, could you please let me test this and see what happens? And they were super nice. They wanted to work with me. They allowed me to test this reading on them. I created a whole new method to promote the cleanse, which is different from the aura readings, which I have been doing. And I tested it out. And the result was actually quite amazing. Some people got job opportunities they were not expecting. So suddenly they didn't do much and the opportunity just fell on their lap. They feel good. In general, they feel good about their lives and about themselves. They're happy. Their manifestations started to speed up and started to increase, and synchronicity was at play in almost all of those manifestations. One of these people has told me that I experience synchronicity every day, and through these synchronicities, I manifest things super fast. So I'm asking you, how would it feel for your life to be like that as well? For synchronicity to start playing out, you look at it, you find it fun, you follow it, and boom, you manifest something. Boom, you manifest a job opportunity, or you manifest money, or you manifest a relationship. How would that feel for you? I tried it out personally, and I think it feels awesome. It is good. And so I thought, I don't have, and I shouldn't keep this for myself. I need to put this out there. I need to make it available for those who want to give it a try and want to experience what it's like to be in this best timeline and remain in it for a while without the triggers that could potentially get you off of it. So I developed this reading, and today is the day that I am going to launch this reading here. This reading, you can look anywhere. You're not going to find this. This is channeled information that came through. You're not going to find this anywhere else. This is unique. Okay, the method is mine. The technique for reading is mine. You will not find this anywhere else. This is a reading that does create results because it not only tells you when and what and how you have to act, but also removes the triggers that can potentially get you out of it. Okay, so it's a reading coupled with a cleanse. And I wanted to put it out there. I'm launching it today. Today is the official day that I'm putting it out there. So this is the first ever time that I'm offering it. But I don't want to just put it out there and offer it like that. Oh, here's this type of reading. This is what you can get. And that's it. That's really not what I want to do. What I want to do is give everyone the opportunity to experience this, to try it at least once in their lifetime. Because I feel that if you don't try things at least once, how can you say they are good or they are not good for you? You have to try them. You have to test them for yourself. You have to see if it works for you, if you feel good with the result, if that's what you want. And because I had such great results with this reading, that's why I'm putting it out there, because it can transform your life as well. And I want to impact positively as many people as I can reach. And this is why today, as I'm launching this reading, I decided to make it a special offer. I decided to make it different from anything I've done up until now. So I decided that I'm launching this reading with a massive, massive discount, massive, that will not happen ever again. Because this reading gives you a lot of information, gets you a very big cleanse, gets you in a high vibrational timeline that's going to help you increase your manifestations. Coupled with that, I am going to give you a recorded audio of the reading so that you can keep it and that you can remember everything that was said. And I'm going to go beyond that, and I'm going to get you extra time, 30 minutes more for coaching after the reading. So anything that you might need help with, whether that's related to the timeline, the event, how you can do something, I will coach you through that in those 30 minutes. So basically what I'm offering here today is something that I will not offer again, which is a timeline reading with a recording, with a coaching. And all of this will have a massive discount of 70%. Okay, just for you who are watching this right now, live or replay. Okay, you took the time to come here and learn. That tells me that you are invested in your life. You are invested in your path. You want to increase your manifestations. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And I want to make it special for you because I want you to have the opportunity at least once to try it out. So the regular price of this reading will not be applied to you. The regular price of this reading is €100. If you get it, for you, it will be 30. Okay, you have a 70% discount. However, this price will only be available until Sunday or until I reach 22 readings. Okay, if I book 22 readings at this price, I will stop applying this discount, or when I reach Sunday, I will stop applying this discount. So if you feel this is something that could really help you, and I honestly do, otherwise I wouldn't be putting it out there. It wouldn't make any sense. If you feel this is for you, if you feel that you want to create these changes in your life, if you feel you want to go down a much easier path, you won't have to worry about when are you in a crossover, which type of action do you have to take, what is the next trigger that's coming. I'm going to tell you all of that, and I'm going to cleanse a lot of that for you as well. So you don't have to worry about any of that, okay? I'll do the hard part of the work for you, basically. And I'm going to do all that for discount price, which will be set at €30. This is a one lifetime opportunity. I will not ever offer this price again for this reading. Doesn't matter if it's Black Friday, doesn't matter if there's some special occasion happening. Never again I'm going to offer 70% discount in this. And I want to remind you the amount of information you get from it. You get to find out the timeline that you are in, where is it leading you? You find out which is the best timeline for you and where can it lead you. You find out which day an event you can jump from one to the other, and which action you have to take to get to that specific highest vibrational timeline. After that, you get to know events in your future that could potentially trigger you into getting out of this high vibrational timeline. And once we identify those events, I'm going to cleanse the triggers, and I'm going to tell you how you have to act, how you have to respond to what's happening in order to keep you still in that gold timeline. Besides the information of this reading, you get the recorded audio and you get coaching around it, okay? So I'm selling 22 readings for this discount price at 30 euro. Or when it reaches Sunday. After that, I will still offer a discount for the people in my email list, but it will not be this big. It will never again be this big, okay? So I'm going to drop the link here. And there's a very important thing that you must know if you would like to purchase this reading and get that coaching and get that recording, which basically is that when you reach the checkout, I'm just putting here the link. The link will show up after I finish the live broadcast, okay? There will show up a button that you can click to get the reading, but I'm gonna leave the link here. But before you even think about entering that page, let me tell you that if you want to get this discount, you have to enter a coupon code on the checkout, okay? This coupon code is very simple. It's TL70. So T for time, L for line, 70 for 70%, okay? TL70. When you reach the checkout page, it will ask you if you have a coupon code, your email and the payment data, and right there, there's a coupon section which you can enter TL70. This coupon code will expire on Sunday, okay? Or when 22 people book. So I have actually no way of knowing if that's going to be today, tomorrow, or Sunday, okay? So if you're thinking about waiting it out to decide whether you're going to try or not to get this reading, please be aware that when you try to book it, it may no longer be available at this discount price, okay? So if you guys have any questions, now would be the time to drop them here in the chat box. And if you're not watching this live, you can reach me through social media or through my website, and you can send any questions to me. I'll happily answer all of those. And that's it. I believe I have shared with you everything that I had to say on timelines, how they work, how you find the crossovers, how you exit the crossover into the best timeline possible, how you avoid your triggers and keep you in the best timeline, highest vibrational there is for you, and how that timeline really helps you manifest your reality and your dreams and the things that you're pursuing through synchronicity and through having the vibration of the specific timeline working for you together with you and making things easier. We have gone over all these things. I have made you an offer, great offer that will create results for you. So click that button after I finish this broadcast, and don't forget TL70 on the checkout page so that you can get a 70% discount that will not ever happen again, okay? Ever. And I don't see here any questions. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat box here. I'm trying to have a look on my tablet here. Maybe sometimes I don't get all the notifications. No, I don't see any questions. So that's it, my dears. If you don't have any questions, if you find that you have questions later on, feel free to drop them to me. I'm going to write here as well the coupon code that you have to enter so that you don't forget. Coupon code. Second. Here it is. TL70. And that's it for today. I believe I have shared with you everything that I had. So have a great day, and I really hope to see you soon. I am excited to work together with you. I want to create some transformation in your life, and I want to impact your life positively and help you get the things that you are out to get in your life. So let's work together. Click that button. Enter the coupon code TL70. You will get a discount especially for you because you took the time to be here today. You are investing in yourself. Sorry. So, oh my God. Let's connect. Bye-bye.